Welcome to jobskillshare.org. We are starting our new chapter. Today we are starting our new career course, which is Transition from Help Desk to System Administrator. Now, let me start. If you're listening to me for the first time from YouTube or anywhere else, this is a site where we teach real world job skills. We started this site in 2013 with a different name, .com, now it's .org, and currently we have 10,000 people who are taking these courses. We started from 2 or 3 students, and now it's 10,000 people. Okay? That's a little history. I'm not going to go into details because my members are going to go crazy, me saying things again and again. So you need to go and do your little research about this. That's why we have the site. Go to about and all that. Find out. If you're brand new to IT, then it's pretty clear. You go to the tracks. You start with the help desk career. Finish it. Get the job. Simple as that. Yeah, get the job because people got the jobs from here. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. Like I said, I'm not going to do anything else and just talk about this career right here. So let's talk about Network and Computer Systems Administrators track. From the official Gov site in 2014, this was the average probably in the DC area. $75,000 per year, and that would be more of a system admin if a company is keeping up with the market level, because you will find a system administrator getting paid $45,000. So that's why I whatever numbers you see over here is just what they are saying from the market, like what should be the market in the area like DC, Maryland. But I can't guarantee anything on other countries. I don't know if they're paying that much. So typical entry-level education, they say that bachelor's degree, but there's going to. I'm going to show you that in a second. That if you're going to become a system administrator, you probably will be becoming a junior system administrator or entry-level. So they usually requires high school or like a 2, or they'll say like bachelor's degree or IT education or experience. This many years of experience or associate degree or some type of IT education, or maybe none would be people who are in the company, like a help desk person and he's transitioning to the network admin. If a company don't put a rule like, hey, you got to do the certification before you take this job, I have seen a lot of people just got these jobs and they look for information. So you will know why I'm doing this course in a second. Work experience, they say none. Here is the job scope for 2014. It was that many jobs. Help desk is more than 700,000, and you can see why, because it's so easy to get that job. And 8% help desk is around 18%. So that's kind of the data. So let's go ahead, and if someone is really not into transition, they just want to know, hey, you know what, I want to start every single thing from scratch. I want to know the networking. I want to know how the packets travel. I want to know everything inside the packet. I want to know networking, how does everything works, the IP addresses and all that kind of stuff. You have never touched networking, then this is the courses that you need to take, because we're not going to do this. MBA has a nice course from Microsoft Virtual Academy. They have a nice course. We just put you that link. And then you have another very big course from Professor Messer, which is a Network Plus course. And they go through a lot of things in detail, in a high quality training right there. And then we have Active Directory User Management. Why did we put Active Directory in there? Active Directory is a normal, it's a normal thing for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. If your company is a Microsoft-based company, 80% of your servers are running. You have a domain controllers. You have 2 to 3 domain controllers, and you have, let's say, 400 or 500 people. And if you don't know about Active Directory, I don't think you can even get the help desk job, because Active Directory is just a normal process. People comes in, you add them, you give them a user ID, you reset their passwords, you change their titles, you rename their, you if they get married, you need last name changed. It's a basic thing that everybody, it's like everyday kind of thing, you'll come across it somehow. And as a system administrator, then you go a little bit more in details about troubleshooting Active Directory, even though not even troubleshooting. The reason I put this basic course in there, that you probably will need it because of the service accounts that you need to run on Active Directory for your own applications. So that's why, if you don't know, that's why I put it there, foundation course. Same for Office 365 administrator. If your company is moving towards Office 365 administration, then you need to know the basics of this. Both courses are pretty good. Now, why are we starting from a special track? Why don't we just jump into Microsoft specific or Cisco specific? Well, this is the reason we're doing something a little different, like we did for Help Desk. We just started straight showing people, if you were to come to my company and you got hired, that you're willing to learn, then I know that in a few days you will become that IT person, because first you will be pressured, your desire for IT will be really up and high out there, because now I know that in a few days I can show you IT, simple as that. And I know you will learn it. And you did it, and we did it. We all made that whole career together, courses, and people got jobs. Nobody believed that when I did that 2013, when I was talking to myself on YouTube, that look guys, let's do this, and you will get a job. A lot of people even question marked it, that is it really possible, because a lot of people are saying something else, you're saying something else. And then by the time went by, when people got jobs, when I showed them on different communities, look, this person got a job and he didn't even have a certification, bachelor's, nothing, and he got a job. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do all these things. You should do every certification that you can come across with. But this is where we're doing these things, because there's a lot of people that are confused right now. If I start just Microsoft certification, there are a lot of certifications. You spend a lot of time on it. But when you go to these jobs, even the junior level administration job, help desk jobs, they don't just ask for Microsoft unless they specify it over there. I mean, Microsoft, if you were going to apply for just Microsoft Administrator, they will put Microsoft System Administrator, Server Administrator, Cisco Network Engineer. They will even put a dash mark and say CCNA. But not many jobs are like that. I mean, they're very specific, and their requirements are good too. Then you need to know that stuff. I'm just talking about a junior system administrator who is starting for the first time, or the people who are in help desk and got jobs as a system admin, they transition, and now they're looking for information. This is where this course is going to help you guys. So let's go ahead and click on it. So, as I recommended here, if you haven't took any help desk course, and let's say one category of the people would be people already working in help desk and they're taking this course, one that never took help desk and they don't have a help desk job, then I prefer you take this help desk course, because that's kind of give you the same level of experience that someone with, let's say, 3 months of experience with the help desk. This course goes in a lot of details, so you probably will catch up by taking this course. Now, duties of system administrator, wide range. I mean, they just put it right here. I mean, it's really up to the company. So maybe if you have a small company, you will be working on probably almost everything that company want to test out. It could be a small data analyzing company, like this company does it, like it gathers data from other companies, and then this is like their speciality, or they're famous for this stuff. So this company would need a lot of software or things like that they will be using some kind of technologies to utilize their own applications. So they will be testing every good technology out there. And if this is a small company and you're the system admin, you probably will be putting your hands on almost every single thing, and they will expect you to do that. So if they're paying you $70,000, they're gonna take that out of you. Like that $70,000 will be, they will say, you know what, we're gonna make our $70,000, make it worth for paying this to this person. You could be working for a company that could have 5 or 6 system administrators, and each system admin will be assigned on a specific technology. You could be working on virtualization, one could be working on networking a little bit, one could be working with just IS server, one could be working with some type of web server, another server. So you could be that person also. So the reason I'm saying this is that there's no rule for a system admin. Like, okay, you know what, this is the rule and everybody will follow this, or else you cannot be a system admin. There's not like this. There's nothing like this. And I'll prove that in a second. And the same goes with the money also. You know how they put $75,000? No. You can get $45,000, you can get $60,000, you can get 70, you can get 90, you can 100, 110. It depends where you work. It's simple as that. But there's a little differences when people say help desk and when people say system admin. So help desk is more of a person who works with the users. Now that's like if a company is really following some type of titling and some IT rules in here, that's how it should be. A help desk person works with the users, and anything that goes wrong with users, and sometimes with some applications, and you help with other things too, but majority of your work depends on when people call you and you go and help them. That's desktop support, user support specialists, user support technicians, IT support techs, level 1, I'm talking about these people right there, and help desk 1, 2, analyst, thing like that. And you just kind of like do your stuff, basic stuff. Now, when it comes to system administration, you usually work on things like servers, services, different type of web servers. You're talking about monitoring, troubleshooting the same stuff, virtualization. You'll hear this word VMware almost every job now, and backups, recovery policies, some type of security now. Like I said, it's up to the company. If it's a smaller company and you're the one system admin, you're doing everything. You're doing every single thing. There's no other way. You got to do everything because you're the IT guy. You're the one-man IT. Yeah. And if you're working for bigger companies, then you could be working on this part. You can be working on only this part. So that's the kind of like idea. So here's what we're going to do. Before we start, this is the lecture. I'm going to put it right here. Then we're going to do a real world scenario and showcase. So we're going to give you some real world scenarios. Show you some servers, show you some virtualization, things like that. Some kind of real call. So that can give you an idea of the difference between transitioning. Now you were working with the users first. Now you're working with vendors, or you're working on a system. Two different things. Before you were working with the user, and the user's having an issue with the computer or a device that they were using. Now you're working with a system that is used for something. Okay, could be a website, could be a backup, could be an email server, could be a lot of other things. So that's what we are going to show you. And then we're going to basically, talk about some another lecture that do you know this stuff. And we're going to go to, which is switching and routing, basic. We're not going to go into CCNA level or, Cisco engineering stuff like that. We're not preparing you to just become this person, because we're going to show you why. Firewalls, load balancing, DNS, DHCP, Active Directory, security, web servers, virtualization, databases, some web languages and scripts, and joining the admin communities at the end. That's the goal of this whole new course that we're going to be doing. So let's go ahead and remember, I was like, let me just show you an example of how things are so different, and don't just think one thing in your mind. So here's a few of the jobs that I just went and I wanted to, let's say I'm going to apply for a system admin job. First, I want to know if I'm ready. So this is a junior system admin position right here. Okay, they're paying you $60,000 if you know all this stuff. So the responsibilities they put, like, responsible for installing, configuring operating system, maintaining system hardware, blah 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 blah. Let's go to this part. Install new, rebuild existing servers. So now we're talking about servers, we're not talking about desktops. Okay, services, settings, directories, storages, blah blah blah. Projects, that's another one. Projects. Install and configure such supports core financial software and core application infrastructure application. So we're talking about some applications now. Maybe you have a site, and in that site there's like a one application that does like your searching part. You bought this from some other company, and that site is running on IIS server. You know what I'm talking about? This is all like, in one site you're using another applications to do some big stuff for people that like let's say 100,000 people are watching it, some video and all that crazy stuff. So that's what I'm talking about. Develop and maintain installation and configuration procedure. Let's go to Unix environment. Now, not this is another, this is going to be more specific now. Some companies might use Unix, some company might not even touch Unix, Linux. So we're going to do a little basic things on these also. Alright, so automated approaches for system administration tasks. That's kind of like, if you know a little scripting, how do you automate stuff. Another one is system monitoring is going to be a very important one. Logs right here is another important one for system backups. Now we can go over and over and over, and you will find every job will have a different type of things, but at some point you will find out that if you do an average of all these jobs, they'll end up with kind of similar requirements for system administrator. Some just goes into a lot of details, but when you do the interview, you'll find out that almost everyone is kind of like they know what the system admin job should be. But I want you to kind of focus on their technology right now. And now that's summarized. Now one company put a lot of things right here. Some people just put like, look at this, they just put like this much, and that's like almost like, look at the spaces between it. Look at, so it's like, you can't go for like one description that this is what system admin will be doing, but focus on this. Microsoft technologies, SAN technologies. Remember I talked about something about virtualization. Look at this. This is kind of like, you'll find out almost every company will have some type of virtualization going on. So this is our focus is going to be also pretty much a lot of lectures are going to be on this VMware and stuff like that. Okay, now networking and networking equipment, intermediate knowledge. Basically what you need to know is you at least need to know how to open a switch or configure a router, or if a network engineer call you from somewhere else and you have some vendors, you need to talk to them, and at least when they say something you need to know basics. So we're not talking about, it's not like he's going to call you and start teaching you about networking from scratch. You need to know a little bit. Okay, and this guy right here, another one we're going to touch up in it. So they're paying you $60,000 for this. There's another one right here. It's a junior system administrator. They're saying we're going to pay you 60 to 80 depending on your experience, and then they're asking for, what is this? Check this out. Same thing. Other information there. This is the same as a networking one. Remember what I say is working experience with Active Directory. Now this might be more of an admin level of Active Directory, like troubleshooting and configuring and fine-tuning Active Directory, not adding users and things like that. But like I said, you need the basics. So they were just pretty basic about things, and then they put like a keyword right here: domain controller, Active Directory, and again, VMware servers. That's the keyword that they put. Then I went in and then I found another third one, and look at the money when dropped from 68, 38, 70, 60. So that's why I say I'm going to prove it to you that it's really not always like, you know, if an official site says 70, then everybody's going to pay you 70. That's not how it works. So it's really up to the company where you're applying, but it's really like, you know, the skills they will ask for, things like that, it can also vary. So it's same thing. They install, configure, monitor, troubleshoot, and servers. Same thing. They put some little help desk kind of stuff in there. But like I said, maybe this company is a smaller company and they're looking for kind of like both. And you know, Microsoft Office for admin, and this stuff is DNS, DHCP. Remember, that was in a course. And again, even this company's put that stuff in there. That's the same thing right here. So from this lecture, guys, you should know now what we are going to cover. We're going to open up our course, and we're going to do a fast, basically going through things very fast, like configuring switch from scratch, router, and stuff like that. So how this course is going to be developed is like this. Now this is just a rough sketch, but I'm going to do another good one. You have an internet company, and I'm going to do this in a very basic. I'm not going to even use IT terms in here. I'm going to use normal terms that can make sense. This is an internet, a company. Let's say this is the company that gave you one IP address, and you have this company right here. Okay, so this is a new company. A CEO is one guy, or I don't know how many people, but let's just say this company have 10 people. Very small company, right? He bought a connection from this, and they came, AT&T guys or whoever, they came and they gave the connection right here, and now you have internet. He already went in and he did some basic stuff, and then they have, like, you know, offices, like, you know, like I said, there are 10 people, so we're gonna say 1, 2, 3. Let's just quickly build like this. These are offices, okay? And this guy said, you know what, we're going to hire one network admin also. And that network admin will do everything. I mean, this is a small company. I'm just giving an example. And this is going to be his room right here. This is going to be an IT room. So let's say he called and he also did some good stuff for you, that he already configured some, like, you know, he talked to the Cisco guys and other networking people, and they came in and they configure switches and all that stuff. But the thing is this, that now the way we're going to be doing this, that since you're already transitioning from help desk, this is already created for you. We're not creating here, we're not designing network over here, okay? We're basically being in a real world right now. A lot of jobs that you transition from help desk to system admin, nobody's expecting you to design a network over here. I'm just giving you an example here that how you are going to be learning things. We're basically going to learn this way, that this company have a router that is the core router that has having a connection. Then after that router, there's a switch. Okay, that switch is connected through the patch panel and everything, and it's going to these rooms right here. All the wires are going from here, patch panel and switch and all that stuff. So what you need to do is this. In this course, we will learn about the router, we will learn about the switch configuration, okay? And then once you have all these connections, they have the connection now. We're going to learn, but there's a site that they run. I mean, this is a site that's their main site, okay? The site is for other people, and that's how they're making money. So this site needs to run on a server, and that's going to be a Microsoft server. Okay, and inside there's a web server IIS running, so you need to know about the web server, which is 2012 server right now, and web server, and this web server, and these sites have a lot of people registering, so there's a database, so you need to learn about the database. Now we need some security stuff too, just basic security. We're not talking advanced stuff, we're just learning stuff right now. So we're going to put a firewall. I mean, of course, you would have asked me, oh, you should have put the firewall at the beginning. Like I said, I'm not designing anything. I'm just trying to give you an idea of what we're going to learn in this course. So there's a firewall right here that I missed in the beginning. So firewall, router, switch, server, web server, and then we have another domain controller for these, like, these people to connect. So we're gonna do like that virtualization here. All of our domain controllers and a SQL server or any other servers are running on this one, VMware host right here. Got it? So that's what we're gonna do, guys. Now I know this makes no sense right now, but when we start our course, everything will make sense. And I'm thinking, if you're transitioning from help desk, at least you would know a little bit about the company where you work. If you're brand new, then we're going to help you out with the diagrams and things like that, so don't worry about it. At the end, when you finish this whole course, you should be able to do any junior level system administration job, just like we showed you in few of the examples that is available right now for people to apply. So you should be able to apply to these positions. And if you disagree with me, fine. And if you agree with me, you'll basically start working with me and you start learning with me, and at one point you will have a nice success. And if nothing else, you'll learn a lot of new things, or you'll probably teach us some new things. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in our second lecture, which is going to be real world scenarios and showcase. We're done with our first lecture. We're going to be adding more to these lectures because we're just starting this course, so we might find something else. So you will always find an updated videos under the video that we're making right now. So if you want to take this course, make sure you go to jobskillshare.org, register, and go to the track right here, track guided learning path, and just click on take this course. This coming soon will be taken off right now. Thank you, and see you guys in my other lectures.